Hey Soup, welcome back. It's Claytano. Thank you so much for tuning in as always. And today we're going to be doing the next part of top arena defenses and why they work. I know a lot of people love this series, so I'm going to keep it going. And then also a new thing that I'm going to be starting as well is the top Guild War defenses and why they work. And so we're just going to be talking basically the same thing through the Guild War defenses because I know there's a lot of players out there that love Guild Wars. Me not being one of them, but I'm going to show you guys, and I asked my guild to put me in the Guild War offenses because if you look at it, I don't typically play Guild Wars, so they don't put me in. Anyway, that's aside the point though. The next thing before we get into the video, I know I've been posting a lot of how to rune videos, and the point of those were supposed to be that those are going to come out, automatically every single day, and not be the only videos that I post. So I definitely apologize that I haven't been posting on top of those videos, and I've kind of been slacking. I made a couple videos, I posted them so that way they come out automatically on each day, and then I was like, wow, it's a little bit nice not having to make a video after I get home from work for 12 hours. But I'm gonna pull up my big boy pants. I'm gonna keep making videos aside from those videos. So again, just a heads up on that. Now, I also want you guys to notice real quick as well that there is a free rune removal going on my account. So this is officially the first time I've actually spent money since probably 9.5 months ago that I haven't spent money on the game. So this is kind of a big deal for me, and the reason why I felt like it was necessary is because I wanted to update my runes and kind of go along with real-time arena, and I wanted to get it done now, especially again because I've been trying to get back into the Guild War scene. So I'm gonna be trying to rune my monsters differently. Main thing being my Camilla. If you guys want to see real quick, it's a crit Milla now instead of a tank Milla. Okay, Violent Nemesis. It's not the best, it's not the worst, but it's decent. So let's just go right into the arena defenses now and not make this video an hour long. But hey, maybe it will be an hour long. I got 10 invites. I'm gonna use all of them. So this is Prima Juno. Prima Juno actually uses this defense for Arena Rush Hour, and doesn't really change it all week long. So it gives you the opportunity to practice on this person's defense because they have the same defense all week long. You got to figure out how to beat it. So for me personally, this is actually kind of an easy defense. Now, I can see how this would be a lot more difficult for some people, but for me personally, it's not too bad. There is a couple RNG factors that could come in where the Fairy King dispels and stuns my Zeros, and then I don't get an attack off, and then this guy comes and kills the rest of my team. That could happen. The Orion could dispel one of my players and then get stunned, and my Triton could not remove all of the buffs on Chloe. So there's a few things, a few RNG factors that come into play, but for the most part, it's a safe-ish type defense for me to hit. What I think could make it much better is that if you took Chloe out of it and put in a buff stripper instead, like adding Juno there. I think Juno would be a great option there. That would give a lot more threat to his defense, and I probably wouldn't hit it at that point. So that's what I would do there. So let's just take a look though. Let's try to attack it. So this one, in order to beat it, you need will runes for sure. Absolutely have to have will runes. I think his Chloe and his Camilla are too tanky to actually Lucian them. So I wouldn't Lucian this team, and especially since it's got the speed leader, you'd have to like single Lucian it if this is going to be fast enough that where your Bernard can actually just solo attack bar increase. So that's the only reason why I wouldn't Lucian this one. And then if you single Lucian, then it's gonna die from this, and then you'll have no damage dealer after that. So this is turn one. Orion derped. This guy didn't remove any buffs. So the only thing now that can happen wrong is if I miss a lot of them. I could miss a lot of the rebuffs. Okay, so missing Camilla, that's probably the one that I could live without hitting. As long as I got this down, and as long as I resist, as long as he doesn't resist, as long as I reset him, I think we should be okay. Alright, so I reset him, and let me just land. No, I didn't land a single one on Orion. Because if I want to land at least one dot on Orion, because if I do, then my... Oh, fuck. See, this is what happens. This is what happens. This is what you don't want to happen. Okay, I'm gonna do this because I put the buff that was on Triton back onto the this guy here. And then for me, whenever because I think that Galleon is a perfect option to kill Camilla. And when I say it's a perfect option, it's because it's the attack bar decrease, it's the, you know, the defense break, it's the attack boost, it's everything about Galleon I feel like counters Camilla. And if you had to pick one, whether you're gonna defense break or attack gauge reduce, I would say do attack gauge reduce, because you never know if you're gonna crit, and then instead of, you know, at least having defense break on there, you have nothing. You just, if you have 2 skill up, use it. Okay, because then you get a violent proc and then you do that, and you're good. It's done. I think it would be a lot scarier though for this defense to have a crit Mela, and then also have, like I said, the buff remover instead of having a buffer. I would say that's the only things that I would change on that defense. But it's really good. I want to see real quick though where Prima Juno is. Rank 6 right now. I just want to see what his speed of his Orion is, if it's possible to use a Bernard to Lucian him down before he even gets 1 turn. No, yeah, you're not. With a 33% attack, 33%, excuse me, attack speed leader, yeah, you're not going to Lucian down. I would probably say you could actually probably Leo it if you have a Leo, because it's not on Will. Mine's on Will, so that way it's not Leoable, but you know, some people have Leo, some people don't. I don't personally, so I have to kill it my way. Now AK-47, he's a guy in my guild. This one's pretty much reliant on skills. So if Praha doesn't strip and at least stun 1 person, and if Vermos doesn't at least stun 1 person and use his skill, I'm pretty much okay. So it's AI dependent. It's AI dependent for cleave type AOs. So let's just see what happens here. Okay, so Bernard stripped, stunned. So the only thing now is that I'm hoping for a violent proc from him, but I think also as well that it's not all bad. The reason why I brought 2 nukes is just for this reason. If one of them gets stunned, I'm still okay. I hope I'm still okay. So now I do this. Alright, and I think we're moving on to the next round. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Again, decrease attack bar on the Kumar since it's already got attack break on it. Pretty straightforward. Nothing too crazy there. This one, I don't really like this type of arena defense. I think it's a little silly. It relies a lot on RNG if you're gonna win or not. The reason why is because, yeah, so he has to kill a lot of people or violent proc. Perna needs the violent proc a few times. Yeah, so if he doesn't violent proc on his Theomars or his on his Perna, most likely it's not gonna do anything. So I'm gonna stay away from Theomars because I want Zeros to reset it, and then I can just make it faster with finishing it off with Tosi. But at this level, pretty much everybody runs a will offense or has at least a will offense to run. So if you think Orion's going to be the only one that's going to be removing buffs and making way for, you know, your whatever, your fucking Theomars and your Perna to hit, you, like I said, you're just relying on luck. And most of the time, I mean, you might get some wins, you might get some losses, but again, when it comes down to it, you're just relying on luck. Which I guess for the most part is half of the battle for arena defense, so I guess it's not all bad, but you're relying on more luck than normal. So this one, again, it derped, it didn't remove the will, but even if it did remove the will, the fact that he doesn't have will runes on any of his other monsters, that just leaves me a free, clear-cut, you know, just, I'm able to just cleave him 100% down. Doesn't even, I don't know, I don't understand. There's nothing really to this arena defense. I guess it's not Lucianable, maybe. I guess we could try to Lucian it. We could see. We could try to Lucian. Let me see if I can find this guy again and Lucian him. I don't think it's Lucianable. But that's, I don't know, there's not much to that arena defense for me to say like that it's really very good. Let me see if I can find him again real quick. Oh, there. Okay. So let's try to Lucian him. Okay, so my Bernard is not the fastest Bernard. It's about 285. My Lucian's plus 99. That's the stats there. This one's plus 96 speed. And then, of course, my Seek goes in front of everybody else. The reason why I use Seek over like the Horus or anything else is because Seek's a fire unit, and I have to have a response to fire units in arena defense because most likely these guys they're not gonna kill Sekhmet. Sekhmet's way too tanky pretty much all the time that Lucian's not gonna be able to touch him because they're just gonna glance. I think though that his whole thing is that he's trying to defend against Lucian. So if we can Lucian him, then his whole thing, I don't know what he's trying to defend against. I don't know what he's trying to defend against. Okay, so we got a Lucky Revenge. Should be able to kill him. Huh. I think he might have beat me. I think he beat me. I think he beat me. So it might not be Lucianable. Now my Lucians aren't very good at all though, so that might be the reason. I don't know. I'm a little iffy on, because I know if I almost beat this team, then he could be in trouble against most Lucian teams because I just threw some runes on my Lucians. I don't even have 100% crit rate on mine. So to kind of like look at my Lucians again, I don't know. I don't like that arena defense. I don't think it's gonna be successful. Like 62%. I don't have super good Lucians. I have this one on Will, so just in case, you know, I get cut by like a Vermos or something. But other than that, I don't like it. Okay, so here's Taneko. Taneko, I think he's just trying to defend against Lucians, but for bombs and cleave AOs, I don't think this is gonna work too well unless he's got will runes. If he's got will runes, then I just make a note of it and bring Triton, but he doesn't have will runes. So really this one, I don't know if he's just relying on RNG resist. I don't know. Well, if he's trying it out, I'm not sure. I know he's trying a few new things out today. He's been asking us in like guild chat and stuff to attack him if we see him. This one's pretty easy, in my opinion. Without will runes, it allows me to bring full nuke teams. OMG Leo, let's just see what he's got. Like, when you build your arena defense, you have to have a plan. You know, you have to have a plan. Okay, this one I wouldn't Lucian. Okay, done. But would I bomb it? If you have the right bombers, yeah, this is pretty easily bombed. Would you cleave it? Absolutely, I would cleave it. Absolutely, I would cleave it. There's not too much threat. Again, the only threat is if Orion removes buffs, if he removes the buff from Zeros, and Camilla maybe violent procs, and then he kills everybody, which could happen. It absolutely could happen. I'm just saying that this, I don't know. I don't know. There's not much threat in this one. We'll see what happens. Okay, so yeah, that's exactly what he needed to do. He stunned, he stripped and stunned my Zeros. Stripped and stunned my Zeros. So Zeros is gonna die. I think I lost this. Almost 100% lost it. We'll see. We'll see how much damage he does. Yeah, we're dead. We don't have enough left in us. But like I said, I kind of called it right before I actually played. His defense did exactly what it needed to do. It needed to remove buffs off of Zeros, and it needed to stun him. Without that, there's not much left. Because if my Zeros went, then he would have reset the Fairy King, you know. So you got 3 procs. It's a violent. Did he kill? Oh, he didn't kill my Zeros. That's crazy. Oh, okay. And so RNG resisted. He resisted everything. Let's see. Oh, and he resisted on my foot. Okay, so I lost again. So this is like, there's, like I said, there's some RNG factor to it, but I don't know. I guess it would be pretty hard for people that don't have Zeros to beat it. I'm trying to think if there's like a better option to beat this with like speed clearing. It's a fucking violent. Yeah, so he killed my Zeros again. Huh. Interesting. He just keeps violent procking. He keeps violent procking. Every single time he violent procs. Huh, interesting. I'm gonna try to Lucian it just to see what happens after this. And this does a lot of damage right here. It's gonna kill everybody. No? No, it didn't. But this is what Prima Juno doesn't have compared to what OMG Leo has. OMG Leo has a super hard hitting Camilla, and that's exactly what Prima Juno needs to do. Oh, he missed crit though. I think he's still. Oh my god, he missed crit again. Well, no, his shield's OP, I think. I think that's what happened. But that's what Prima Juno needs to do. You saw the last one. he had the tank Milla. He had like, yeah. The reason why that worked is because he had a lot of damage going into Zeros, and Zeros is like the main counter for Water Fairy King. So if the Water Fairy King is going to be going after Zeros anyway, if you have more damage going into Zeros, then that's always better. It's always better. So I think Prima Juno should switch over to a Camila like OMG Leos. Let's go take a look at it, because I was doing some pretty good damage there, just without attack buff, without defense break. It was taking chunks out of my Zeros, and my Zeros is pretty tanky as well, not gonna lie. So I was pretty impressed by it. Let's go take a look. 87, 147, 1074. So his actually has just a little bit more attack than mine, like 200 more, but mine has like 2,000 more HP. The crit rate and the crit damage are about the same, but this one I would think would die to bombs, where mine I think wouldn't die to bombs. And of course, Violent Nemesis, of course. And then this guy, this is how you should build Samath, by the way. Despair, I would say maybe Nemesis instead of Offset if you can, but this thing, look at it. Look at the look at the damage. It does a shit ton of damage. It does a shit ton of damage. Okay, we're done looking at that. Let's fight another defense here, shall we? Lord Siri? You wanna take a look at Lord Siri? He used to be in our guild. Let's take a look at what he's rolling with. Okay, so Molly being on the team with the Fire Monkey King, I would immediately say let's not Lucian it. It's pretty susceptible to bombs though, because it's a slow team. All you gotta do is just remove any will runes, if anything, and then you could just throw bombs down. And to be honest, if he doesn't have any will runes, then you don't even have to have Sierra to bomb him. You just use like Malaka, Jojo, whatever. Just come in. Just make sure you guys are faster than them. So maybe bring Bernard if you need it, or Megan would probably be better. Okay, so yeah, no will runes. Interesting. It's not, I don't know. I don't really like this one. I don't like this defense. It's not threatening enough. I guess you can lose to some RNG from Molly, but yeah, like see, I missed the Fire Monkey King. Does some pretty good damage though. Does some really good damage. I want to get rid of this though. I don't like the Molly. And then the Camila doesn't do a whole lot of damage. It's doing some, but I think it's probably, I don't know, it's off and on, I think. But yeah, so there's 10 swords already used. My defense is doing, I don't know. I've been switching, like I said, I've been switching my runes around, so a lot of these have been like trying different things, but I ended up just putting this speed team back on, because the goal behind this is to have a faster Bernard, so that way they can't like outspeed me, which they can because I'm not very fast, but the whole point is to deter people from trying to outspeed me. And then having my Juno and my Zeros, my Juno should just remove buffs, and then my Zeros should come in and attack. I shouldn't be Lucianed, I shouldn't get cleaved too hard, other than by maybe full water cleave teams, which could take a little bit longer to beat me if my Zeros goes off correctly. Because if my Zeros goes off correctly, then like a full water cleave team is just going to be trying to auto attack me to death. And most of the time that may or may not like take forever, especially with having Vanessa reviving people at the same time. So yeah, but this is with my Bernard not being on Will, it's susceptible to Leo, and yeah. But anyway, that's just my midweek arena defense. So anyway, other than that, guys, I really appreciate you kind of tuning in, just hanging out while I go through my swords tonight. you know, as always, I try to make these videos at least like once a week, once every 2 weeks, something like that. So if you like the video, please comment, up, like, and subscribe below. It helps me out. But other than that, stay soupy. Peace, laters. Bye-bye.